I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Good morning, my friends. Friday, yeah, Friday, getting down on Friday. I feel like every time I try to sing that song, I get a little right here, so maybe I'm just not supposed to sing the song. Do you see the AMXbooks shirt? That's pretty sweet, right? One of the many things that Dredd and I have embarked on in our time together, leading us all the way to January 4th, 2019. I just confused what I was going to say there. So we started the podcast, little known fact, we started the podcast in August of 2016. So this August, el agosto, will be the third complete year of the Spaniard Show, which has gone through several transitions, and I'm sure we'll continue to go through more transitions as we started out as a fighter's mindset, and then we transitioned into Spaniard 101, and we have finally landed on the Spaniard Show, World's Toughest Lifelong Learner. That's it, my friends. That's where we're at, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to kick off today with AMXbooks 650. That means we only got 50 more days until AMXbooks 700. Oh my goodness. Let's rock and roll with our last day. I don't have the book. I thought I brought it down with me to showcase it. Our last day with Meat Eater by Steve and Rinella. Thank you, Steve, for this incredibly fun and enlightening read. I'll also know. Let's get to the show. Let's get to the show within the show. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Spaniard Show. This is the Spaniard, and this is AMXbooks 650. We're finishing our experience with Meat Eater by Steve and Rinella. To my left, I have the book American Buffalo by Rinella, which I'm going to be reading here in the next, several weeks or month. And upstairs, I have my periodic reading book, his new Wild Game Cookbook. So I'm all into learning this hunting, this outdoors, this wild game, preparation, hunting, all of it. And I encourage you to check it out as well. These books are or will be on my website, charliespaniard.com/reading list. Now, one of the things that I like about Rinella, I can relate to him in a variety of ways. I heard on Joe Rogan's podcast, he's been on his podcast several times, and Rinella has downplayed himself as a hunter. And it's modesty, right? It's humility, and I appreciate that fact. But what I really appreciate is what that represents. So Rogan credits Rinella's success as a hunter to his tenacity. All right, so Rinella's saying, look, I'm not the best hunter. I just do what I do. And Rogan is saying, no, but it's because of your tenacity that you're so successful. And I think that's really important because we don't all have the gifts or the talents or the this or the that, but we can all be tenacious. So if you're jotting down characteristics or traits or assets that you'd like to acquire, understand that tenacity, being tenacious, is a decision. It's a conscious choice you'll make in your mind. Rinella says this about his hunting, quote, each type of creature presented its own set of problems, but I conquered those problems through gung-ho resourcefulness and a lot of tinkering. How much does gung-ho resourcefulness cost, and how much does a lot of tinkering cost? It costs a decision, and it costs your time. You don't have to be the best, most gifted, most talented, but tenacious. Add tenacity to your daily recipe, and you'll be blown away by the results. Look, fighting, I'm not a great fighter. I'm not a great wrestler. I'm not a great learner. I'm not a great speaker, but I just freaking go after it with tenacity that in time there's no result but to become that great thing that you're after. The next thing I want to point out here before sending us off with a bit of hunting history and verbiage, hunting history, moving on to the next point. So I wanted to bring this to this idea of fair chase. Now, kind of coincidentally, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live, my mom had given me a book that her former principal wrote, and it's called White-tailed Deer, Facts and Strategy by Dennis Keller, a fair chase hunter. Now, I got this book probably 2 months ago, and I read that last part, a fair chase hunter, and I thought, I don't know what that means. I've never heard that term before. So this is kind of a terminology slash a little fact that I'm throwing your way that many of us might not have heard. So fair chase is, quote, the notion of challenge. Fair chase. The notion of challenge is one of the most hotly debated aspects of fighting. Okay, so it's very subjective. So we have this idea of fair chase and understanding that the idea of challenge is very hotly debated in hunting. So fair chase, quote, addresses the balance between the hunter and the hunted. It is a balance that allows hunter to occasionally succeed while animals generally avoid being taken. So this idea of fair chase, and again, I'm presenting this to you as strictly information, so that if you ever have a hunting conversation or if you see something in a bookstore or a magazine or on a television show and you hear this term fair chase, you can understand that it is the balance between the hunter and the hunted. So essentially it's not giving the hunter too many odds in his favor, it's not giving the animal too many odds in his favor. It's that mesh and it's that balance, and it's a bit of a guiding light. It's a bit of a guiding light for hunters, and it's not universally legislated. It's a personal choice within the laws, but I thought it was really important to throw this term out there, a fair chase hunter. So in the book or in conversation, you'll hear about baiting, you'll hear about traps, you'll hear about high fences. All of this plays into the moral or the ethical decision on your part as the hunter. Hey, is this fair chase? And a lot of hunters pride themselves on that idea of being fair chase, of not, you know, piquing the favors too much in their odds. And the last thing I want to put off, this is a send-off, and this is a quote by writer Thomas K. Whipple, and this was in the book. I love inspiration. You know, I love reading books because it teaches me things, it inspires me. I'm reading American Wife, which I'm going to bring to the show here next, by Taya Kyle, and I on every other page I'm thinking, man, that's how I should be, or man, I'd love to live that value, or man, what would I do in that situation? So it always keeps me thinking and keeps me in check and on my toes. A quote like this hits me in my soul. It makes me want to go out and live. And at the source of this show, that's what I want to help you do, is encourage you to live a full life, to live and learn and do and experience and then teach to others. Again, this is a quote by writer Thomas K. Whipple. All America lies at the end of the wilderness road, and our past is not a dead past, but still lives in us. Our forefathers had civilization inside themselves, the wild outside. We live in the civilization they created, but within us the wilderness still lingers. What they dreamed, we live, and what they lived, we dream. Hit pause, rewind that, and listen to it again. What they dreamed, we live. What they lived, we dream. It's this balance of civilization and wild. Rinella goes on to say this: to abhor hunting is to hate the place from which you came, which is akin to hating yourself in some distant, abstract way. So think of that. We're looking about our history. I love learning about the history of the United States, the Wild West. I have Rinella's other book, American Buffalo, in my hand, reading all these books about the Native Americans in the West. That's where we came from. We live in the civilization they created, but within us, the wilderness still lingers. What they dreamed, we live, and what they lived, we dream. Do you agree? Do you think that is where we came from? Do you feel otherwise? The meta lesson in this book is to decide how you feel and then objectively articulate how you feel. And I mentioned John Muir yesterday, and I love this quote. I believe it was National Parks Adventure on Prime, or one of the National Parks documentaries that I watched on him. He's known as the father of the national parks. He says this, quote, "Wildness is a necessity." And I'm going to leave you with that, my friends. Wildness is a necessity. Get up on this Friday morning. Get out there. Get after it. Put your work in. Then put your work in physically. Then put your work in mentally. Get after it, folks. Wildness is a necessity. Thanks so much, Steve Rinella, for your tremendous book. Very much enjoyed it. Very much looking forward to reading American Buffalo. Very much looking forward to continue reading the new Wild Game Cookbook. It's as much history and facts and cooking lessons as possible. And I'm excited to go hunting next week. Whoop, whoop. Thank you all for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. Check out my website, charliespaniard.com. It'll have links to everything. You can watch the show on YouTube. You can watch the show on Facebook Live. You can check out my speaking programs, my book list. It's all there. And if you'd like to help to support the show for as little as $1 a month, $1, $1, that's it. Visit patreon.com/CharlieSpaniard. See ya on Monday, folks. Hello, Alexander. Hello, Chad. Hello, Jimmy. Jimmy seems like a new name today. I appreciate you being here. So there we have it, folks. We wrapped up our time with Meat Eater by Steve Rinella. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it, learning all kind of history and facts and strategies and techniques, as well as a really cool autobiography of our new friend Steve Rinella. So thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, Saturday, will be released AMX Weekly, which is a weekly recap of my learnings. I'll be live streaming it at some point today, so be sure to like and follow this page, facebook.com/Charlie Spaniard. All of these videos are uploaded to youtube.com/Charlie Spaniard. My name is Charlie. My nickname is Spaniard, Charlie Spaniard. There you go. Add a .com and check out the website. I will see yous all later today for AMX Weekly, and then Monday for AMXbooks 651. And we start a tremendous book called American Wife by Taya Kyle, who is the wife of Chris Kyle, author, subject of the movie American Sniper. Tremendous insight from that book. I'll see you all later.